In spite of all these difficulties, hardship, tension, stress, the oath you have taken today will help you to keep smiling. So I'm going to tell the 3 S things. The first is smile. Does not cost much. Can you smile now? Some of you are not smiling. In the back, the boys are slow in smiling. I know that the girls are always good. Because when the children, the girls were born, the God smiles through their face, and the God says that, look, I have given birth to a mother who is going to carry forward this universe, this humanity. So you are the best. So, smile is first S. The second is softness. If you behave like this, it's enough, your patient is good. I told you several times, Baba, तुम्हारा मरीज ठीक है. मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ, मैंने इंजेक्शन दे दिया. अब वो मरीज भी सुन रहा है, आप उसको इंजेक्शन लगा रहे हो, वो डरा हुआ है. So your soft touch. You have to maintain that softness in your behavior, in your tongue. बोलने में चेहरे पर मुस्कुराहट और मुंह से बोलने में सॉफ्टनेस आपको अलग बनाएगी, अलग इंसान बनाएगी, अच्छा इंसान बनाएगी. This softness, sweetness, and your smile makes you a better human being. कुछ तो नहीं लग रहा है इसमें. प्यार से बोलने में क्या जा रहा है? Our third thing, the third S is sympathy. You have to be sympathetic to the relatives and family members and friends of every patient. छोटी सी 3 चीजें. Keep smiling. जैसे अभी आपने किया. अभी मैं ये एक्सरसाइज नहीं कराऊंगा कि how are you going to talk softly. अभी तो सब लड़कियां जो आई, अभी लड़के भी आए 2-3, सभी सॉफ्ट थे, थोड़े नर्वस भी थे. एक बेटी ने हमारे कहा कि आई एम फीलिंग नर्वस मीटिंग यू. So I asked the same question to my daughter that day when I was giving her degree of MBA. Are you nervous today? She said, why should I be nervous? I'm more confident. I'm going to serve this nation. And instead of joining a regular corporate sector, she decided to take up the challenge to sensitize the corporates to give more efforts and resources for health care of those who are most underprivileged people in the country. She is settled down in Mumbai and working with doctors, working with companies, and inspiring them, motivating them, encouraging them to work for the poorest of the poor people's health. Though she is not a doctor, neither a nurse, लेकिन आपको तो ये मौका मिला है कि आप ये कर सकते हैं. So 3 चीजें आपको याद रहेंगी. कौन कौन सी 3 चीजें हैं बताइए. And sympathy, be sympathetic. What they need sometimes, these family members who are very, very stressed. अभी तो थोड़ी देर पहले 2 of my colleagues were having high blood pressure, and my office already sent them to fully family here. और पूरे रास्ते मैं जब आ रहा था तो मैं खुद ही स्ट्रेस में था कि ये शिव कुमार शर्मा जी बैठे हुए हैं. योगेश शर्मा अभी भी पड़े हुए हैं. अभी क्या हो गया था आपको?
ब्लड प्रेशर मैं तो योगेश जी को लेके आया था दिखाने के लिए.
किसी और को लेके आए थे हॉस्पिटलाइज,
लेकिन उन्होंने पाया कि मैं उनसे ज्यादा बीमार था तो उन्होंने मुझे लिटा दिया. मैं कह रहा हूँ सर का प्रोग्राम होने मुझे जाने तो उन्होंने रोक लिया जाने.
तो अच्छी बात है कि वही आए तुम जहाँ प्रोग्राम था. So wonderful. You are happy. I am so happy to see you. in good health. So dear friends, I'm not going to take much of your time. You must celebrate. I wanted to celebrate when I got the degree of my engineering, the first degree, back in 1978 in Bhopal University. But I could not attend that ceremony to receive my degree because that time I was trying to make a family happy, क्योंकि उस फैमिली की बेटी से मुझको प्यार हो गया था. प्यार जरूरी चीज है कि डिग्री जरूरी चीज है? Very tough question, very tough question. But I followed my heart and I decided that the degree will come later on, but I should not leave that girl. And she is still sitting with me, Sumedha ji. We got married in the same year. And now she is mother of thousands of children whom we free from slavery and trafficking in India and other parts of the world. So, ये डिग्री लेकर आप जा रहे हैं आज और बड़ी जिम्मेवारी के साथ आप लोग जा रहे हैं. Especially from this institution, which has the whole Holy Family actually has been established by, as you know, by a Austrian missionary, Anna Dingel. And this is also the day to remember her with utmost tribute, most honor. Because she, those days, in early 50s, she realized that the women especially, the girls are not able to get good medication, good education. They are not empowered. They should be given more dignity and respect. And she started up from Rawalpindi, Delhi, and many more places. I was told that there are 25 Holy Family institutions. So that is important. I would also tell you one or two more things and I will sum up. There are many patients, especially the young children, who are victims of sexual abuse, rape, bullying, and substance abuses. And if they belong to the poor community, poor parents, then it becomes much more harder for them. About a year and a half ago, my wife and I were in a hospital in Janakpuri to meet a girl, 6-year-old girl, who has been raped by his driver on the way to school. The poor mother told us that the parents moved from a village, from Bulandshahr or somewhere near Bulandshahr, Meerut, with a dream that they are going to give good quality education, good education for their daughter. And they brought her here. And then they worked hard. Wife was doing some embroidery work or something at home, and the husband was doing hard work, just to ensure a good school. So girl was admitted in a school, and one day when she came back home, she was not well and she was almost fainted. When she was taken to hospital, then it was found. And then she told the whole story that how driver has done this work. So for several days she had to undergo through treatment and had 2 surgeries, but she was saved somehow. Very naughty girl, very, very good girl. I was sitting with her and talking to both mother and daughter. And I was trying to convince both and consoling them that now everything is all right. I will make sure that you will go back to school, perhaps not in this school, but a better school, more safer school. The girl screamed like anything when I just mentioned school. No, she said, नहीं, नहीं. और वो मुंह छुपा के तकिए में चीखने लगी. मैंने समझा नहीं पहले, लेकिन समझने में देर भी नहीं लगी. स्कूल के बजाय फिर मैंने इधर उधर की बात शुरू की, सुमेधा जी ने भी. And then I asked her that whom you like most. There was a doctor and a nurse standing by her side. She looked at them with a smile. Her confidence came back looking at them. Nurse was also smiling, so was the doctor, lady doctor. And she had no difference, she had no idea about who is nurse, who is doctor. So looking at the doctor, smiling, she hinted at her with her finger and she said that I love her most. And doctor was, of course, happy and moved. Said, how you want to become? She said, these 2 cared me most, more than anyone. Then we asked that, I asked to the doctor and nurse. I asked doctor first, the doctor, how did you become the doctor? And she immediately said that I wanted to become the doctor, I wanted to serve patients, and I went to school, I studied hard. And then she looked at the doctor. Did you go to school? She said yes. Then the doctor and nurse both advised her that बेटा तुम स्कूल जाओगी तभी तुम हमारी तरह बन पाओगे. बहुत प्यार से सिर पर हाथ रखकर जब डॉक्टर ने उसको कहा कि बेटा तुम भी हमारी तरह बन सकती हो और दूसरों की इसी तरह मदद कर सकती हो. In simple language. But those words went inside her. And she looked at her mother and said, then you can find me another school. I wanted to become a doctor's assistant. Her dream came back, her childhood came back, her trust in humanity came back through a nurse and a doctor. You represent that hope. So when you go back, remember this story. One, that you are fire of love and compassion. Jesus says, let the children come to me, do not hinder them from the kingdom of God that belongs to them. And I used these words when I was receiving the Nobel Prize. Jesus says, let the children come to me, do not hinder them. There should not be any obstacle, there should not be any hindrance on their way, because they are all our children. Muslims, Christians, Hindus, high caste, low caste, Pakistani, Indian, Sudanese, African, Asian, whosoever. Children are our children. When you come across any child, feel that this is your sibling, this is your sister, your daughter, your brother, then you will feel more accomplished, more human. Then you will feel more closer to God. अभी किसी शायर ने कहा कि घर से मस्जिद बहुत दूर है, चलो यूं कर लें. घर से मस्जिद बहुत दूर है, चलो यूं कर लें, किसी रोते हुए बच्चे को हंसाया जाए. Keep smiling and make a child smile whom perhaps you never met, you don't know. Forget about anything. Just look at the beautiful eyes of the child. These eyes reflect purity. These eyes reflect some expectation from you. Medical professionals are seeking to the God. The people have trust in God because God is going to save me. I always feel, everybody feels like that. But when we are sick, when we are hospitalized, when we are not well, then who is our hope, the second hope? It's medical professionals. So it's you. And I hope that you will carry it forward. I was invited to, actually I have visited Vatican 2 times, recently in November. And this time I was invited by Pope Francis at his residence, which is, people say, rarest of the rare. He does not entertain the presidents or prime ministers in his home, in his residence, but somehow I was told that he loves you so much, so he invited at home to talk to you in person, one-on-one. I'm not going to tell you what we discussed, but briefly, the general thing that how we are going to protect our children from slavery, from trafficking, from sexual abuse, how his moral authority and the divine voice should go across the religions so that no child is abused in any form in temples, mosques, churches, schools, shelter homes, schools and families. We have to work together. We work together on the issue of slavery and trafficking, and we have been successful in inclusion of slavery and trafficking and child labor issue in the Sustainable Development Goal, the future development agenda of the world. Now I am working to stop the online child sexual abuse by way of demanding an international convention, an international law that can stop uploading and sending any material which is abusing for child. It could be substance abuse, it could be radicalization or indoctrination, it could be porn, it could be trafficking related issue. So I asked his support also, and he happily not only supported but appointed one senior officer from Vatican to work with my office on this issue. So these people who are sitting on the dais, Archbishop is there, Father George is here, they represent that mission, and that is the mission of humanity. Dear friends, when you go back, keep smiling. When you go back, enjoy, make party this evening. You can dance, you can smile, you can laugh, you can hug your parents. But you are lucky that you are receiving degree. I was not that lucky. It does not mean that you don't make girlfriend and boyfriends. Now you are grown up, you are graduated, so your parents will start, some of your parents will start thinking to marry you soon, but you should tell them that you have to serve for a few years. You have to help the patients for a few more years. Then you will go on the family way, or you are going to marry. Thank you once again, all friends and all teachers and all students and all parents and all children. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a great privilege and honor to have amongst us Nobel Peace Laureate Shri Kailash Satyarthi as the chief guest on this auspicious occasion of 3rd Annual Convocation Ceremony 2019. We are immensely thankful for devoting precious time from your extremely busy schedule. Indeed, your valuable sharing of experience as an activist of Indian children's rights, a Nobel Prize recipient, and as a founder of Bachpan Bachao Andolan, will go a long way to help and guide the graduating students to prioritize their life goals. Due to the time constraint and busy schedule, our chief guest, Nobel Peace Laureate Shri Kailash Satyarthi would be taking a leave between the ceremony. May I request His Highness Most Reverend Anil J.T. Kutto to present a memento to the chief guest. Kindly stand.
इनके साथ एक सेल्फी खींच लो बच्चों के साथ। कौन-कौन सेल्फी के लिए तैयार है? तुम नहीं आ रही हो? थोड़ा उधर से भी खींच लीजिए। आ गई हो अब तो? आ गई हो?
Moving ahead, may I now request His Highness Most Reverend Anil J.T. Kutto, Archbishop and the President,
Ms. Hoy Neelam, Ms. Abhilasha Charan, Ms. Anmol Jain, Ms. Arya K.S., Ms. Binu Joseph, Ms. Chandini Kumar, Ms. Chandni Singh, Ms. Chinchu Anthony, Ms. Cynthia Clinton, Ms. Deepika, Ms. Grace Gloria, Ms. Jared Jose, Ms. Jesselyn Matthew, Ms. Jyoti Kalra, Ms. Khushbu, Ms. Kanika Verma, Ms. Lal Satyam, Ms. Lovely, Ms. Maria Bindi, Ms. Megha Bharati,